Welcome back to Fixing My Faith. Today, we're going to expose or talk about some of the CSA issues within the Jehovah's Witness religion, and that's child sex abuse issues. So, this has had a lot of coverage over the years, and the question is, how do Jehovah's Witnesses handle these sex abuse cases? So on the internet, there's a lot of information. You can go to jwfacts.com, and they do a really good write up on the history and some of the issues that were brought forth to the Jehovah's Witnesses, a two witness rule. And they have this rule where, and it's from the Bible, where you're at the mouth of two or three witnesses, you can establish a matter. But is this a fair rule for a small child that's been sexually abused and has no witnesses? Well, of course not. So there's some common sense that I think the organization should have been using since day one, but yet they've been hiding all these sex abusers. The other issue is the 3 year rule. The 3 year rule is where these elders can actually be an elder in 3 years again. So a sex abuser elder can become an elder, get disfellowshipped or whatever, be dealt with, and then become an elder again. And go out in the field ministry and case out all these children in the field. So there's no program within the Jehovah's Witness organization to really admit this problem, just like all the other religions have, and to do something about it. Send these men for counseling, put some of them in jail that need to go to jail, but most of all, protect the children. And through all the court cases, they have made it so that the women have no voice in the congregation. And it's really the women that need the voice. And when a child is assaulted in this manner, it needs to be taken to outside the congregation and be dealt with so that it can be determined. And this wasn't happening. So there's a lot of issues within the organization: mandatory reporting, record keeping, the preaching, public relations, and court cases. We'll take a look at a few of these. You don't have to go far. The Atlantic News, they do a whole thing on it, the secret database of child abuse. And this has been a problem since day one, as they've had this database, a secret database of child abusers. They know about it. And how are they dealing with these databases, Jehovah's Witnesses? So this is interesting. It's even hit Wikipedia, Jehovah's Witnesses handling of child sex abuse. This is a big thing. This is a mark on this organization that will never go away. So in 2002, we'll just read a little bit of it. 2002, and this is recent stuff. Jehovah's Witness Office of Public Information published its policies for elders to report allegations of child abuse to authorities, and get this, only where required by law to do so. So if you're in a third world country and the law doesn't require it, they just hide it. Even if there was only one witness, so they're supposed to report it. The organization says individuals known to have sexually abused a child are generally prohibited from holding any position of responsibility, and that unless considered by the congregation elders to demonstrate repentance, such as a person is typically disfellowshipped. So this is that 3 year rule in their elders book. And outside, I think professionals are saying that elder should never ever be an elder again in their life, and that elder may have to do time in jail. That elder would have to go through some rehabilitation, psychology, counseling, and none of this happens within the Jehovah's Witness organization. Now, here in 2016, a UK judge upheld a ruling against the Jehovah's Witnesses for failing to protect a victim of child sexual abuse. And the Supreme Court rejected an attempt by the Watchtower Society to block a charity commission inquiry into how the organization's charity handles allegations of abuse. This was the culmination of 2 years of legal proceedings in 5 different courts and tribunals. The commission's attorney said that the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society has at every stage relentlessly challenged the legal basis and scope of the Charity Commission's inquiry. And we see how they play dumb. Jeffrey Jackson just plays dumb all the way through court. And they have to ask him the same question repeatedly over and over again. Now, in 2019, elders in New Zealand were told to destroy documents. Get this, they're told to destroy the documents dealing with all of these cases, causing survivors of child sex abuse to fear the causes will be covered up. And the organization maintained that the documents relevant to the cases of the abuse would not be destroyed. So we're now uncovering that this organization is a can of maggots. It's filthy, it's disgusting, and has taken every measure to hide the maggots and the disgust that's held within this organization. Now, let me just show you this. This is a credible course film, the Philadelphia Inquiry, and this is record keeping. And this is how the Watchtower organization is talking to their districts all over the world on how to deal with records. And they're basically saying, destroy the records. If you destroy the records, they can't hold us liable. And here's a little bit of it, but I encourage you to go and look at this yourself.
Back to litigation and cost us a few $100,000. So are handwritten notes just as important? Yes, they are. So we want to be very careful and cautious how we handle our records, even if we think they're insignificant. The difficulty is it's happened more than once. So that's why we have this systematic program that we're putting into play.
So I'm just going to cut it off there. I watched the whole video, and there's other videos online, and you can research this where they have more information. But basically what the Watchtower is saying to these people is handwritten notes have cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars because it ties us to illegal activities. And the Watchtower, and I showed on some other videos, and we'll show this in the future, they deal with all kinds of filth. They take their toxic chemicals and they bury them and they get caught. They've been burying and cultivating toxic chemicals in the Watchtower farms for years. They got caught, they got busted, it came out. Probably handwritten letters tied them to whatever was going on here. So they're talking about handwritten letters and destroying these handwritten letters and destroying records. And this is what's really making the Watchtower shady. So this guy here, he went around and gave this course. I've watched some other videos where the room's full of people, elders, and these are leaked footages. Now this company's got a hold of it, and they have 31,000 subscribers. And this is 4 years ago, 28,000 views 4 years ago. And this is how the Watchtower deals with records. They're telling the organization to send all your files to Watchtower headquarters and get rid of all your records. Destroy them all your handwritten records, but send the files to the Watchtower. And it's up to the Watchtower legal department to deal with everything. And what do? They destroy the records, because if there's no records, there's no court case. And that's how they're dealing with hiding these cases, which is really obstruction of justice. And it's not too long, folks, that this organization will crumble if they continue to hide and to do this. And all over the earth, it's starting to crumble. It's starting to fall apart. So what else do we have here? We have this little bit here from the Australian testimony, Jeffrey Jackson. And he's making a statement of elders. He's telling elders, saying that elders are supposed to go right to the police, which is a lie.
The elders should encourage the guardian of the child or whoever is in that family arrangement that is not the perpetrator to notify the authorities.
And you see, that's a lie, because that's not in any of the elders' books. He just goes on stage, perjures himself in court over and over again, this Jeffrey Jackson. And he has no problems lying because he tells the flock elsewise. If we have problems, and I've been a Jehovah's Witness for 30 years, you have to go to the elders with your problems. You can't go to the police. If you go to the police with a problem, you're going to be dealt with for going to the police. You have to go to the elders. So this guy is a liar, a bold-faced liar, and he's doing it under oath. So you want to talk about a religion that is full of maggots and disgust? This is it. And that's where I'm at, folks. So on a positive note, Let's go out there and help some people, and especially the widows and the orphans. And I think of the older ladies that lost their husbands, and maybe they have a cane. They're trying to get their groceries, get their cart, get the door opened. Let's look for opportunities like that and live our day with love. And that really changes our life when we get out of the Jehovah's Witness religion, and we can do little things around our community, even around our homes. It starts in the home, by the way, but we start showing love every day. And all of this disgust will go away in our lives as we get out of it. But it's good for us to understand that these guys are not the true religion. These guys are filthy, they're disgusting, they're liars, and they perjure themselves in court over and over again. So many Jehovah's Witnesses are just leaving the religion because of this incident in Australia. And it's just spells the future for this organization. This is what's coming for this organization. So until next time, friends, keep living your life with love, and have yourselves a great day. Bye for now.